Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the North East Non-League Show, sponsored by DJ Private Hire, Gateway Accountancy Services Limited, Elite Goalkeeper Academy, Motivate, Danny Lair Plumbing and Heating, the Football Pink, and Sport and Journeys North East Limited. Tonight is something different. It's our episode 100, and tonight it's me answering the questions, and my good mate Ian giving out the questions tonight as well. So, Ian, thank you very much for coming on.
No problem whatsoever. It's an absolute privilege to do something different for myself, but obviously it's about all the hard work that you do for your own show. It's about time what people realise what you actually do and work hard about yourself and where it started from, because people don't know your background or anything like that. So it'll be nice to find out exactly what you're all about, mate.
No, lots of good stories. Hopefully, I just want to say a massive thank you as well, everyone. Obviously, over the weekend we hit 2,000 subscribers as well, and like you say, it's just massive at the moment. And we're just supporting and helping the clubs as much as we can. We just sponsor the player with building reserves, and all the money that we're making is going back into the North East Non-League. So keep supporting us as much as you can as well. But I think that's it, Ian. I think it's over to yourself.
Well, like I've just explained to James, and obviously I'm going to explain to yourselves, is obviously this is the first time I've ever obviously hosted a show. So James has given us the reins, as you should say. But, where should we start? We'll start right back at the beginning, mate. Obviously, as a junior at that age, when did you really fall in love with football?
It was pretty much from 3-4. Like I say, I was originally from Sherburn Village, so it's a tiny village, County Durham. And it's always been myself and my granddad. Didn't really know my dad, the father figure, so it was always kind of going up to the bungalow, watching the football. It was obviously the Champions League, ITV, which used to be like class nights. I miss them nights now, though. They used to be the best on ITV. Watching the football there, but as we say, because of Sherburn, it was that small. There was no teams in the area. I think we're just being chatting about it at work now. I mean, I think there was someone on the grassroots football program last night looking for some training for a 4-year-old, and the amount of responses that they got back now, it's crazy. How it starts. There was kind of nothing at the time, so it was kind of old school, but for me, I think that's what made us into the better players and stuff like that. So we lived around the Crescent, and there was about 8 or 9 lads, and it was kind of, we used to open the gates where the cars used to park, and that used to be the goal net. We used to play on the pavement. We used to hit people's windows, hit the neighbours' back gates. Used to kick off asking for money to fix the fences. But I think because we're playing on the streets, obviously you're getting tripped over, you're falling, bursting your knees open. And you're playing with mixed age groups, so there could be lads there, 5-year-olds, 7-year-olds, some of the teenagers, they used to try and kick you all over. But I think that used to make you a better player. And I think now you don't see enough of that. So obviously we had that. And then next to where my granddad, I lived around the back again, there was a massive field. And every night, it was pretty much after school, the 6-week holidays, we pretty much lived there, set up 2 nets, put your jumpers down and play football until it kind of got dark and you came home. And I think because everyone was a mixed age and everyone was just kind of getting stuck in, as you call it, it just seemed to be better football. And I think that's where a lot of confidence came from the players. And they always used to be a good set of players, and still is now coming through Sherburn, because I think it's the small and everyone knows each other. But we just used to kick lumps out of each other. I think that used to be brilliant, Ian.
Yeah. I know you said you didn't have much with obviously your father, but so did your granddad play football at all?
Yeah, he used to be a miner, so obviously working down the pits and stuff. So he used to have football teams for different pits, and he used to tell us about the stories of playing up obviously Sherburn, I think Sherburn Hill, Dorden pit as well. And obviously he used to say that was proper football, and heading the cases with the proper padding on. He says he had a few bad heads, especially when it was wet and stuff. So he had some good stories, but I think it was more of him watching the football with him. Like you say, them nights on ITV, they used to be proper football compared to what we watch now. And I think that's where the passion and everything grew from, and obviously the love for Newcastle as well.
Yeah. So where with obviously with you with a love of football and stuff like that, and your granddad. So I'm assuming that your granddad was your side figure when you started to play, and he encouraged you to go in the direction that you wanted to play football in.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I say, the closest teams, I think in the area at the time, where now you're looking at every village has got a football team now, but it was Durham. So it was like Durham City, Durham County. There used to be a football session on a Saturday morning down the sports centre. Dave Bell, if that rings a bell, I think you might have played against him in Northern League. I think he turned to refinement actually. But he had a football session, and there was another lad that took over. And I think it was about 7 or 8 kind of doing these football sessions and getting on a bit. And because I was left-footed like yourself, it used to stand out a bit. And the main thing was I used to hit it with power. And it was, you know how things start, it was kind of right. I know they started at Middlesbrough, we can kind of get a coach in, get you down, but never really cared about it. Then, like you see, I wasn't really bothered about playing competitive football and stuff. It was all about having a laugh with your mates and stuff. And obviously, the time of Grandad used to come on and play until he was a bit knackered and stuff. But it was kind of went from there. And then I think we were around the sports centre. You've probably played there yourself, and there's about 3 or 4 teams play there now. But at the time, there was just the one team, and it used to be looked after. It used to be immaculate. So you used to go down and play on there pretty much every night as well. And it was Jeff Arnott. I think he runs the over 40s working club now, actually, for Sherburn. And he used to have a son, Scott, great player. And he was running Durham County at the time. And I just remember him keep asking us, will he come and sign? Will he come and sign? But to be honest, I didn't know what it was all about then. So I was like, no, I'm not bothered. And I just remember it the day, and he just toyed the ball, as he says, right, tackle free kick at us. See how good you are. And I just put this left foot. It could have went any better in the top corner. And he just went, you'll do for me, son. So, like, I think that was after that, he came over the papers, kind of knocking the door. Mom, let's on the door, get to sign his contract with the paper. And that's kind of where it went from. That was my kind of first taste of competitive football, really.
So who was your first team that you signed for then?
So that was Durham County, and I think it would have been under 13s, under 14s at the time. But I think it was kind of going from just playing on the field with your mates to kind of playing competitive football, and obviously then going into tactics and saying you've got to play here, you've got to do this. And it was kind of strange going from doing kind of what you want to that. But it was Durham County. I'm sure it was under 13s at the time.
So for the love of your game, then did that build up from that stage? Was it only going to go in one direction?
It should have, I think, but I think the first 5 or 6 games it was good. Scored a couple of goals. Obviously, I was playing left wing at the time, so we had a lad, what was he called, Chris Buckingham. For his age, obviously, he was higher than anyone. So every time I got the ball, doesn't matter where it was, just ball in the box height, he would score a header every time. But I think it was kind of about 3 or 4 games in. I was kind of going to school the next year and kind of saying to mates, "Oh, it's brilliant." And they were all asking, "Can we come and play?" But obviously, squads you have these 16. That's about it at the school age. And then it was kind of right, what can we do to get back to playing with mates? And I thought, and nowadays I'm going to take a totally step the wrong way. This 14, 15-year-old as well. I just thought, I'm going to create a football team. Just kidding. You're mad. How the hell are you going to start a football team? But yeah, within 5 games left Durham County, then the rest was history. It was just getting a head down and getting a squad and getting a football team built from scratch, really.
So how did that end up then? With your football team built from scratch, and what? Yeah, I think you just answered your own question there, did you?
Absolutely crazy. Like you say, it was Sherburn Flames FC. I'm sure we're like under 14s, 15s at the time, and it was just starting. I think it was a Tuesday, Thursday night. We used to stay behind after school. There was about 25 lads there, just training. And then obviously it was off the field stuff, so I had to kind of learn 14, 15-year-old how to create a football team, how to deal with money, how to get sponsors. But I think that's why I love it so much now, because I started at a young age and getting the sponsors in. So it was kind of at the time getting yellow pages out and literally ringing companies and saying, "Look, I'm going to make a football team. Will you sponsor us?" And they're kind of thinking, "Hold on, I'm speaking to a 14-year-old laddie. This is a prank." It was like, "No, I just want some money off you to buy some kit." And it was kind of crazy. It went from there. My granddad kind of helped out. He put his name down as chairman. My auntie Pauline, she put her name down as secretary. And we just kind of got kit in from Mr. Beecham, Gordon Beecham. PE teacher at Belmont. He gave us an old Borough kit that he got off Parnaby at the Borough Academy. But I think the hardest thing was obviously when we trained for so many weeks and we had 25 players, there was too many. So I think it was coming about 3 months before we actually had the season start, and we had to kind of narrow that down to 16, 18 players. And it wasn't just kind of kicking players, that was almost losing mates, because you were kind of saying, unfortunately, we didn't want you kind of on the team. We only want 16, 17 players, so people are getting more game time and stuff. So I think that was the hardest thing, is you were losing mates at a young age, and it was kind of hard to give out. But I think that's kind of set in stone now when I'm kind of managing as well. I've dealt with it at a young age, so I find it quite easy now as well. Yeah,
I mean, I know you spoke about your granddad 3 or 4 times now already. Was he kind of your go to if things were going like pear shape or whatever like that? Did you always go to rely on him? Because I think like what I've picked over here is he's been like he's definitely been your father figure. I can pick over that. So the question is, what's he brought you? What's he brought for you, and like up to now, what you've been speaking about? Because I think it's been what I've heard already has been absolutely exceptional in your life.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything. I mean, to be honest, during the week as well, like you say, obviously I live with my mum, but on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and a Saturday, every single week as well, I would always stay at the bungalow with him. So obviously he tried, as he got on a bit, like you say, making his teas and stuff and making sure he was okay. And I think because he looked after me, I'd give that back to him as well. But it was like you say, when you start the football team, he wasn't keen on driving out with Sherman. That was his kind of his comfort zone. And all of a sudden we were playing these teams through a Gateshead, through a Sunderland, and he was like, right, I can take 3 lads today, and he was kind of helping taking the team all over the northeast and stuff like that. And it was quite mad because obviously he was then coming to training to watch training as well. And luckily, one of the other lads who was playing his dad, Jerry Finn, great lad as well, a policeman, and my granddad and him just got on great. And Jerry kind of said, right, obviously, Raine, you're going to be playing. Still help out with management as much as you want, but an older figure there just to help on the sideline. And I think that kind of helped as well. But like my granddad got involved in everything. He was every Saturday night he was washing the bottles, but he was putting the tablets in to make sure the bottles were clean, sterilising them, and he was pretty much giving up his time as well. So kind of obviously paying back them respects as he got older as well. It was really good.
Yeah. Obviously, I can quickly speak on my experiences. Is like when there's nothing better when you've got somebody there that you know that you can rely on. And my father was one of them ones for myself as well, where at training he was there, or he would help to do anything around football clubs, and I can totally respect what you're saying, and that's why I asked you the question, because you brought him up so many times. Is that there's so many times where you can look around and then that figure's there just to give you that little bit of morale or that little boost where things aren't quite going well, which is absolutely fantastic. And it goes to show that your granddad's played a huge part in your youth bringing up now. So the next part, mate, obviously you've told us about the early stages about your junior football and stuff, and then you've obviously moved on a little bit and your college football. Tell us a little bit more about your college football.
I thought it was really good, like you say, with the Sherman Flames. It lasted about 3 years. It was hard. I mean, when we trained on the field and you had about 5 or 6 players, and I think you kind of think we're going to do well here. We possibly might win the league. And I think the first game we played against Leigh Rangers, it was a cup game, and it was obviously Premier League. They were Premier League versus us, and we were Division 7 or something at the time, and I think it was 12-0 at half time. We just think, what the fuck have we done here? Like, getting involved with this. And I think we played Redby in another cup. They had Jordan Henderson playing centre mid, and it was just unbelievable. So we had 3 years there, and then I think obviously the lads are then at that point after getting towards like 16, 17 years old. So it kind of gets to that stage where lads are going possibly to college, university, getting jobs, kind of leaving. And it was quite strange because I think it was towards the under 16, under 17s at the time, and it was kind of pre-season, and obviously Sherman Lampton Arms were in the Durham Pub League, the Premier League at the time. So there was a couple of people asking us to go along and train for them pre-season. So I was training with them, and it was kind of right. The season was going to start early for the youth team, and then I think it was a week after the Lampton season was starting. Obviously, they were trying to get in my head saying, "Oh, forget about youth football, come to adult football." And it was kind of obviously Jerry saying it could be our last season. Please stay with the youth team. It was kind of hard, kind of which way to go. But I kind of went into the adult side of thing. I thought I was ready, and obviously had a good pre-season with the lads. And I mean, one of the funny stories is, I mean, we started obviously normally the first couple of weeks in the pub league, it's always kind of county cup or some cup that you start with, and we got drawn against some Darlington side. So obviously it was about half an hour, 45-minute ride through this, and we ended up in the Gypsy Caravan side. And I was just thinking, where the hell are we going here? And we pulled up, and there was just caravans around the pitch. The pitch was actually marked out with like oil. So I didn't have to put the oil down. I literally burnt the lines in, but the oil was still on top of the lines. There was no white markings down. You had to kind of go in this little like chalet thing to get ready. And I just thought, wow, this is going to be an eye-opener. I just remember the first 10, 15 minutes, every time I got the ball, it was just snap. It was just getting kicked from behind. I was thinking, what have I done here? I made a massive mistake. But I think, obviously, you know yourself when you come to football, there's always people that look after you. Centre-half, John Bowes. And I think it was about the 4th, 5th time I got took out from behind, and that's the same lad who kept doing it every time. It was kind of the ball went through, and all of a sudden I just remember John come from behind and just clatter him, and I've never seen someone just hit the floor as hard. And John just went behind and says, "Do that again, I'll break your legs next time as well." And after the game, like you say, it's just stuck with us that you've got people that were backing up, and I think that grew your confidence as a young lad. But you need that at times, I think, don't you?
Yeah, it's a huge step up from junior football to adult football, massive, and it's do you know what it is? It's scary for parents, because they used to being that dominant one in the junior level, and all of a sudden they're in the big world, and then when you're up against blokes, it's a completely different ball game. Obviously the times when you've moving on to that obviously 16, 17-year-old age and 18-year-old age, do you ever think about taking your coaching badges and stuff like that?
Yeah, so it's kind of went on to the college side of things. Obviously at the time we were playing for Lampton, like I said, in the Sherman there was hardly anything and stuff like that. So we were playing for the Lampton, and I think it was about a season that we played there, but it was another team that was in the area, Pinton. It was funny because I always wanted to play front at the time, and I was playing left wing for the Lampton, and every time I was going to Pinton, I was playing in front, I was scoring loads of goals, and they were in like a lower division. So I was coming back to the Lampton after about 2 or 3 months, expecting to go and play the back of top, and they were just putting us back to left wing, so I was getting a bit sick. But I think that's what you like as a kid at the time, you just want to kind of give your all. But I mean, you know yourself, you've played in the leagues as well at the time. I mean, there was Hetton Lions, one of the best sides, and I always remember kind of outside the pub, obviously you used to always meet up an hour before kick-off, getting the lifts through, and I always remember being there about 10 minutes before the meeting time, and I was keeping up with my watch. I was like, why is no one here yet? And all of a sudden 1 or 2 would turn up, 1 or 2 more, and I was like, where's everyone at? And it was got Hetton Lions this morning. I was like, why? No, we just Hetton Lions. I've never heard of them. I was like, no, just obviously a young kid. I was like, no, I don't care. We're playing like, and obviously his phone was going all the time. The manager's, oh, sorry, I can't play it. Of getting up, I'm feeling ill. And I remember playing obviously the first time against them through at Hetton. Had a decent game to be fair against them. Then they came back and played us against down the sports centre. And I know we've mentioned so many times Gary Pearson playing and Jason Ainsley, some cracking footballers. And I always remember the ball coming. I thought, right, I'm gonna DM me. Can't even remember who it was behind at the time, and I just let it go through my legs. And luckily, his legs were open. The ball's gone through his as well. I've turned, and the next thing I know, I'm just 6 foot in the air. And it was Gary Pearson actually, and he just said, "You do that one more time, and you're not being able to walk for 6 months." I was thinking, "Who's this?" And after the game, we're like, "I can't believe you've done that." And like you say, it's always good because the amount of people that's been on as well. Like you say, they've always had. Like you say, cracking stories about them as well. So it was nice to get it in. But I think after that, and I think it was kind of when we went to college, and that's when the coaching kind of started. And you learn things from all the teams that you've been to. Because like, again, when you're playing for Sherman, obviously you've been a young lad, and you've got some cracking players in and around you. And I always remember there was a couple of times we played against teams that had the more younger players. And I mean, there was a couple of good players like Dean Clough, Butter, another lad, great player. And I always remember in a corner, like, the ball coming in, and obviously he said his fingers had been somewhere they shouldn't the night before, and he was going, look at this, and I just remember this young lad, obviously, that he was supposed to be Martin Butler on this corner, and he was going, oh, have a smell of this, and this young lad just getting like, coming in for like a sniff, and all of a sudden the ball's come for the corner, he's out there, and Butler, Bush, get in 1-0, he's just thinking like, it's the adults that just make it, but it's the chain room banter and that, which was the best, and I think that's kind of took us into the college and the coaching as well. Because when I left Belmont, we went Durham sixth form. But I just remember the first few days there, it was kind of a bit like school. You had to obviously call the teachers by the surnames and stuff. And I just thought, I know it is, I've done so many years now, I'm sick of this. But they used to have a cracking football side, and obviously you had to go in before the term started, have like a few trials and stuff. And I remember turning up, and obviously being left wing at the time, and we were the second game on. The first game, there was this young lad, can't remember who he was, playing left wing, and he was like a little messy. He just got the ball in and out, scored. And I was just thinking, I've got no chance here. And that game finished, and I think it was Mr. Ferguson, you call him. He come over and he says, right, you're first, where do you play, Bonnie lads? And I was like, up front. And there was like a couple of mates that came, and he was like, you don't play up front, you play on the left. I said, there's no way I'm getting the team feast playing. So I just thought, right, I'm going to blag it. And obviously just watching, obviously our hero Alan Shearer and stuff, what does he do, and holding the ball, I just thought, right, get the ball, touch, turn, hit. luckily, I think I did it twice and I scored 2 goals. So all of a sudden I was a striker. And that's where that kind of came from as well. And obviously, we had a couple of pre-season games. But then when the sixth form started, it just wasn't for me. Like I say, it was just too much like school. So I kind of left there and I was just expecting to go and kind of find a job and kind of go from there. I think I had my mum a bit worried. Obviously, I think I had a week when I was just doing nothing, playing on Football Manager. She was like, right, you need to get something sorted. And that's when, like you say, New Durham College came around. And I don't know how it got in contact with us, but they just said, come in and we'll kind of chat about the courses. And it's probably the best 2 years. And actually, when I really fell in love with football, and we kind of got there and they said, right, this is the plan. You do football 3 hours a day on a Monday afternoon. You do 3 hours on a morning on a Tuesday. You play against a different college on a Wednesday. No football on a Thursday, and you come and do a light training session on a Friday. I was thinking, this is not college. This is like academy. This almost, and they do. Obviously, you do sports psychology, different things like that. You go for all your badges, and I just thought, yeah, this is for me. And I think that's kind of where the actual love for football came from as well.
Yeah. Who was your coach here? Was it Colin Myers?
Yeah. So the first year we got there,
the reason why I say that is, you went, we're going to do this and we're going to have a little late session on a Wednesday and do. I know that's bullshit. I know that's bullshit because Colin Myers would not put a late session on. I'm telling you, he would have ran you into the ground.
But it was same thing there.
You didn't answer that question there, Jim.
Well, that was my second year. Well, it should have been my second year.
You've had him on your show, right? You've had him on your show, and he ran you into that ground.
But to be fair, honestly, it was the fittest I've ever been, and I think we started there in the course didn't start in September, but the football lads were all in from August. We trained a couple of times a week. Oh yeah, blue tests. But honestly, it was fantastic, and my confidence was there, and it was like 2 teams at the time. So the group that was in the year before me, obviously they moved up to the A team. All the new group that came was the B team. So our manager at the time was Sean Nicholson. I think he played for Jarrah. I think he might play for Jarrah actually a couple of times. Davy Wood was there between A, B, and C, the B team, and then obviously Colin was the A team manager, and it was kind of the same thing there as well. We did a couple of trial sessions, and obviously with the left foot straight away, you get chucked on the left wing. And I was just thinking, oh, no, it is. I'm getting a bit sick of this. I need to try and get up front. And I think it was about the second or third game in. Sean just came up. We were playing Bishop Auckland College, and he just kind of said, I'm going to put you in front of do what you do as a job. And I said, yeah, no problem. And scored a hat-trick within, I think it was the first half, and everything I touched was just flying in. I think we played them, for some reason, we played them 2 weeks in a row, and I got another hat-trick the week after, and all of a sudden I was like, oh, hold on. Like, kind of, who is this? And obviously Colin had his Northern League links and stuff like that, and it was just really good. But I think once you hit the floor like that, the confidence, and obviously Sean, the confidence that he had in us as well, it was just getting better and better as it went on. But as you mentioned, the training, because you were training nearly 12 hours a week, the bleep tests, we nearly kind of run out the bleep test tape, so we were that fit. And it was just for anyone that we were going to play against, we could beat them. It was absolutely brilliant. Like,
so that's, we've covered your college days and stuff like that. And after that, so where's your love from Sunderland West End came from? That's what I want to know, because you're so dedicated.
Well, that's from the, like you say, the coaching side of things as well. And there's your mate there, Ian, John. You saying, I just want to say hi. Hello to Raine from us, Ian. Great lad, isn't he? Great lad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it kind of ties in with the new college, obviously the coaching and stuff. So it was kind of on the second year of the college course. They came in and did like a level 1 football coaching. And I loved it, to be honest. It was great. And then from there, I did my child welfare officer, first aid training, child protection stuff, all through Chelsea Street at the FA, which was really good as well. But I think it was just the second year. I don't know what it was. It was kind of moving up from playing in the B team to the A team. And it was a good step up, because a few times I got moved up in the first year and I was still scoring goals. But I don't know what it was. I don't know if new lads that came in and stuff, but just didn't enjoy it as much as second year. So I think that's when I kind of got into me coaching more. And like I say, being from Sherburn, there was just nothing in the area for kids. But it's not in a bad way. I think it's probably one of the not big regrets, but because I got more into it, I kind of stopped playing as much, and I think I've missed out. I think at that time I was only 21, 22, And that's when you should be starting to kind of come into your, what you call your prime and enjoying football and kind of pushing on. Because I remember obviously doing well and scoring goals, and Colin kind of saying, come to Brandon, you can play up there, we'll give you, obviously, see how you do in the reserves, cover at the Northern League, and other people asking and stuff like that. I was just like, no, I'm not bothered, like, but then people saying you're crazy, like, you can get yourself up and do it. But we kind of sent some flyers out to the local primary school, just that age group that we're looking at, and I just said, right, if you're interested in playing, give us a text. And on that same night, the lads coming out of school, we had 9 or 10 players under, I think maybe under 6, under 7 at the time. And like you say, we trained them from under 7. We went all the way through to under 16, which was fantastic as well. But you kind of, as you know, you get to 16, and obviously them as well, they were looking at lasses, they were looking at kind of college, university, moving away and stuff. So we kind of went adult football as well. From there, we did 5 years in the Peak League, and obviously I could join back in as well, which was quite good as well. But then I think that's what it led to, obviously moving through Sunderland. I think it was the last year that we played in the pub league, and it was all good. It was a bit of a laugh, but the enjoyment wasn't there again. I mean, the first couple of years it was kind of a struggle. Obviously, young lads trying to get in the competitive men leagues. It was a really good league. We had some good sides in there, like Peak League Catholic, who was winning the All England Cup and stuff like that. And then the third division that we played, the third year, sorry, we started bringing in players from like the Durham League, and it was kind of making contacts, and we were saying, right, we're going to bring this player in. Like we brought a couple of great lads from New Durham, Davy Pritchard, the goalkeeper, Stevie Bowes, centre midfielder. Got a couple of strikers in as well, and all of a sudden we went from this team that was just playing for a laugh to actually competitive. Got a couple of semi-finals. We were beating the Premier League sides in the cup, and we kind of should have pushed on from there. But it was just weird where some of the lads that were kind of there from the start were like, it's not really the same thing now, though, Raine. We've kind of lost that involvement. I was kind of, which way do you want to go? Do you want to play for laugh? Where, because we had that taste of kind of being a good side, I wanted to take it even further. But then obviously then players left because they didn't know if they were felt welcomed and stuff. It was kind of weird going to that last couple of seasons. And obviously I think it was obviously starting to go to Newcastle games with Parker, so I wasn't there every week. And it was, like you say, it was kind of just losing their love for it. And it was quite sad. The last game we played, Pete Lee, somebody, and like I say, that was literally my last game with the lads. Obviously moving through Sunderland, I know it wouldn't seem as much, but it just kind of fizzled out from there. And it was quite gut-wrenching, because I think it was about 6-7 months after the team ended. It was like a picture of all the lads in one of the local pubs in Sherburn. Must have arranged a meet up, and I didn't even get invited along. I was a bit gutted, but I think it's a funny old game, football, isn't it?
Yeah. Or you can be flavour of the month one week and then just forgotten about the next, trust us. But a little bit of a sidetrack here, because obviously you've got a little superstar of a son who's a good goalkeeper. And the reason why I brought about, obviously, your granddad and stuff like that, and have you took that, because obviously your granddad was around you when you were starting to play football, and the reason why I'm saying is that it's the dedication that the adult takes to push that son or your grandson in that direction. He believes that he can achieve stuff. Now you must know how much hard work and dedication it is when you have to put your sole commitment into one person, because obviously Parker's going to be an absolute fantastic goalkeeper. So tell us a little bit what you're doing with yourself and what it takes with Parker in the direction you want him to go to, and obviously the support you give him.
It's been crazy, like I say. I think because kind of once you knew that what I was doing kind of in football, I was coming on a Sunday afternoon, obviously being out running the Sherburn United team at the time, and he's just loved from football. As soon as he can kind of walk, he had the ball on his feet, he was kicking the ball around, and like you say, he turned into a goalkeeper. But it's been a strange one, because obviously he's playing now for the Sunderland Foundation, so he's kind of training there on the Thursday night. He's down the mini West Enders doing a bit of outfield stuff on a Friday. Obviously he's got a game on a Saturday. I've now got my little coaching thing on a Sunday, so he's coming out with that. And it's kind of always asking, just making sure he's okay, because I think a lot of kids now, the pressures, we see it on a Saturday morning, obviously running the sides, and you'll see a lot of dads who I think personally are kind of living out their expectations for the son, which I think is totally wrong. You can see someone don't even want to be there playing and stuff on other sides, and they're just saying, come on, you need to do this. And it's kind of hard. So I think with Parker, obviously he's getting his proper goalkeeper training on a Thursday, which is great, which he absolutely loves, to be honest. But I always kind of ask him after every like a couple of months or so, are you still enjoying it? Are you doing too much? Are you still wanting to play football? Because I don't think any kids now should be pressured to doing it. But look, like I say, a couple of times I said he's still happy in net, you want to play out. But I think his love for the goalkeeper is starting to come on now, because I think it was the last term he got the player of the term from the Foundation of Light, and he's just kind of grew from that in his confidence. I know it's took a little bit of a knock now, obviously he's playing a year above, so when we play, he's now under 10s where it really should be under 9s, and obviously the nets have just gone from a little bit to a kind of bit bigger now, so any balls that's going high, they've just got no chance to flying in. I think that's hit him a little bit, but we're just trying to do a bit like one-to-one training with him and stuff, but his love for the football, it's just brushed. I mean, we were there on Saturday at the Newcastle Brighton game, and obviously with yourself giving you the tickets and stuff, it's quite a funny one, because obviously now we've got the kids football on Saturday morning. Any early kickoffs we can't go to. Obviously I'm working midweek as I can't go to. So after that game on Brighton on Saturday, our next game is February, and he's gutted. He's just thinking, oh. And I'm kind of, even at the start of the season, I said, "Pat, are you sure you want to get like these tickets out again?" He's like, "Dad, it's our day. I just love it. It's just me and you going to football." And that's why I keep asking, because I think he just loves going to football and being a part of it. And I think in years to come, he's one of these fans where he's going home and away. If you can get the tickets, like you say, he just absolutely loves it. And I think the love of my football is kind of rubbed off him. And I think even the coaching side, the new thing I'm doing on Sunday, a bit coaching, and obviously Sophia, she's at that age now where next season she can start playing. And he's already said, he says, "Dad, can me and you run her team? I want to be a coach and I want to coach them." And I think it's absolutely amazing to see the kids want to be a coach at that young age as well.
Yeah. So another quick one about your granddad. Was your granddad one of these ones that he put his boot up your arse if you weren't doing anything right? Because I know you've just said there that I picked up there that you're more the calmer one when it comes to Parker. Do you want to do this? Are you fine with this? Did your granddad put a boot up your arse? Because that's all. The reason why I say that is because old days, that's the way you got motivation out of the place. Now, did your granddad do that to you, or was he like yourself? That's what I'm trying to get at here. Because just rubbing off on Parker and in the direction.
I don't think it was direct, but say if we were watching the game of football and someone would just go down diving, it would just be shouting to Sally, "Get up, you fanny, get out, get this, do this." So when he used to come watching on Sunday, I thought I kind of do anything apart from getting stuck in. And I think even a couple of times, I think we always had a rivalry when we had the Sherman Flames against Durham Wanderers. And I just remember the ball coming in the middle somewhere, and it was 50-50. I'm getting the ball, but I've clattered this lad, and the ball's then trickled off, and another lad's come towards, and I just thought, "You're going to get it as well." And I've just gone for him like steam train. Two lads going in the air, and he just turned, looked at us, and he just went, "Yes!" And I think it's just, you just had to kind of show it on the pitch. But yeah, there's even a few lads who at half time, if some of the lads weren't giving it, he would give it out then as well to say, "Look, you need to do this, you need to do that." And like you say, I think it's old school compared to now what you see. It's quite strange, isn't it? Like you say, the turnaround of the football now, it's gone too soft, I think.
Yeah, it's lovely to hear that though. I'm more interested now of what you're doing now with the Northern League, because I know how much hard work you put into that football club, but I don't think enough people actually know what you do. So you're going to have to tell us and tell everybody what you actually do for the football club that you're involved in.
Yeah, so obviously the West End, it all started with Potter. So we moved from one parcel where we are now, and the hub where the pitch is, it's about 5-10 minute walk away. So Potter got in there playing originally, but the youth setup wasn't very good at the time, and someone who was running it, and then obviously went to play somewhere else, and then the person that was running it, he kind of left, and then all of a sudden it just changed around. I thought, right, we're going to get back down. Two good lads there, and we won't mind mention names, Dave and Nelly, two fantastic coaches, absolutely wear the heart of the sleeve, love West End, and they just said, "Come back down, give it another go." And like you say, he got in there and he absolutely loved it. But I can just find football anywhere. And I just remember one Saturday afternoon, we were just out for a walk with the kids, and I says, "Look, there's a football match on there. Let's go and have a look, see who's playing." I think it was a pre-season friendly, West End Easton. So we get in, and I'm only in 5 minutes, and someone came around, "Oh, who are you? Where are you from? You should come down." Obviously, we were chatting a little bit about the Northern League and kind of what I was going to plan on doing with the North East Northern League show and stuff. And I think even the first time I met him, David Bond, he said, "Come and join the committee." I was like, "Well, I've only been here 5 minutes, so I'll give it a miss for now." And then as they just went on a little bit, and then obviously Park then came back, started playing. They needed a coach, so I said, "Yeah, I'll help out," and still stuck there now. And it kind of went from there. And then it was towards the end of last season. I mean, they've asked us a couple of times, but I thought, time's right now. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to obviously come and join the committee. And I mean, we only had one game left towards the end of last season. So I kind of said to all the youth team coaches, because we've got a little WhatsApp group. So that's another job I do. So every Wednesday, Thursday, I put all their fixtures in. And then what I do is put them all on a poster and say, this is our fixtures. On a Saturday night, all the scores come in. I get all the scores, put them on and put this as a result, win, loss, or draw. And it kind of started from there to say, right, I want you all down to walk out with the players. And it was good. Like you say, we got about 150, 160 people there on our last game of the season. And then it was our first committee meeting where I was kind of in the room, and I just said, right, going forward now, what I want to do now is to get this community back together. Because like you say, I think it's quite hard for now. People, when they move to areas, they don't know who people are, and I think because of people struggling all the time now, it's hard to kind of feel a part of the community, because you didn't think to be outdoors now. You seem to be all stuck inside. People going to work, you haven't got that money to spend. And I just thought we need to try and get everyone back together. So Derek, another committee member, we started going around a few local companies, local businesses, kind of going in the shops and just saying, right, this is Sunderland West End. This is a plan what we're going to do going forward. So we're really lucky, like I say, we've got some fantastic sponsors. I mean, John Hogg, he's sponsored the club for years now, funeral director, putting money into the club. Got a massive sponsor, LGV Sunderland Training, and the driving school. They came and sponsored the board as well. And then, like you say, it took off from there. Then the Club 25, I just thought, people are struggling now. They can't afford to pay £500 for this, or £1,000 for some kit. And we just said, right, Club 25, pay £25, you get a shout out for helping us. And then every Sunday you get a shout out as well. And just thought, even if you get 10, it just brings a little bit of money in the club. And I think it was 50, 60 in the end, and it nearly brought, like I say, £1.5 grand into the Northern League. You know yourself, but obviously getting picked through the gates, the main thing, but having money there to make sure you can pay your refs, because they're just an absolute fortune at the minute. Paying your rent and stuff. Which, look, we are quite lucky down the hook, because we don't pay certain amounts of money down there as well, but it's just non-stop. I mean, my wife's away last night and tonight working. There was a training last night. I was working 8:30, but Derek knocked on the door at 8:30. We sat there for an hour, just making some plans about what we can do now going forward for the rest of the season. And it's just doing daft sponsorships, like match sponsorship, ball sponsorships, and getting the posters out there. And social media, it's massive now, on Facebook page, Twitter, and just getting people to try and get as many sponsors in as we can. And like you say, I mean, the last game that we had there, I was just chatting before the show, we pushed it all week. For my sins, I was getting put into Sunderland Facebook fan groups, getting the word in there to say, please come down, you haven't got a game, it's international break. And obviously all the sponsors got invited down, some food on, and we're coming out, as I mentioned, 10 minutes before kick-off. There was like 345 people there, the Northern League game in Sunderland. Our highest attendance was about 116. I was thinking, wow. And it's just the atmosphere. We won 8-0. Obviously, all the youth team walked out the players, and I just thought, right, this is the pencil mark now. We need to do this to almost every game. Obviously, not putting the food on, but we need to get this amount of people, not just to survive, but to go forward as a club as well.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely remarkable what you do, and I'm glad now people realise actually what you do. And I mean, my question to you is, James, is obviously the last question I'm going to want to speak about is obviously your own show, but the question to me is, how on earth have you got the time to fit all this in and be so dedicated and deliver on such a fantastic performance time and time again, to bring in sponsorships? I mean, you know, I just think it's absolutely remarkable what you've done throughout. Yeah, as much as I've been a friend of you for a couple of years now, and I've been around like the non-league scene, and I just think there's been nobody else out there that's put a platform out like yourself. And for me, the time and effort that you've put in, what you've just explained to me, and what everybody now knows what you do, is absolutely remarkable. So, how on earth do you do it? Because I don't know how. I honestly don't know how you do it. And I think I'll probably answer the question yourself without putting words into your mouth. I think you don't know yourself.
Pretty much.
You know. But I'll honestly, the effort that you've put into everything and what you've done to lead up to my next question is obviously your own show. I've got a lot to thank you of, because without you, I wouldn't be enjoying what I do, obviously on another show, but myself is getting a wider audience as well, and I'm getting invited on other shows throughout the whole country, and that's simply because of yourself and your show, which was absolutely brilliant. But that's enough about me. It's about you. Tell us about how you love your I know you started off as obviously a Newcastle United show, and you said that obviously the competition was too great, which we totally respected. But the most important thing, forget about that one. It's what you do now to put this non-league show on a platform that nobody else does, in my opinion. Tell us how you come about that.
Yeah, I say we start with the Newcastle stuff, and I think you'll agree yourself now with obviously the tickets and the ballots and the stuff. And when you go now, you don't feel like a fan; you feel like more like a number. Newcastle, I felt exactly that on Saturday. The atmosphere wasn't as what it used to be in the past, and you just didn't have that same feeling. And obviously at the time, we were trying to put obviously the shows on for, which was great speaking to yourself, Luke, Jamie, a few people that came on. It was really good. But I think that's because you just felt a bit of a number. The love wasn't there. Keep that going. And Stephen, who obviously came on a few shows, Stephen Hopper as well, and he kind of mentioned, should we start doing a couple of non-league? And I think we had Darren Williams came on and just chatting about his time at Whitby and stuff like that. And I just thought, right, where could we go from here? And I just think when you go out of the ground, I mean, a couple of weeks, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I mean, we got invited to go up as a guest up at Bishop Auckland after raising the defib for them. Week after we were being invited up to Crook, and you're going up and people just come and saying, oh, thank you so much for what you do for the non-league. Because what you've done, we're getting a few people extra through the crowd, we're getting extra sponsors, because when we share and to say that we've got a new shirt sponsor, you're seeing it in your shirt in your group that's got nearly now 8,000 viewers, and they're just thinking, wow, this is amazing, you're getting more. And obviously, I think the best thing is it's helping people. I think we put a post on last week. Obviously, we've helped some junior football teams getting a few footballs and stuff like that, but the charity work as well. I mean, when it was the Newcastle stuff, we raised a lot of money for former player David Burrell. His daughter had cancer for a lot of the early stage of her life, and I did a few laps around St James's the year afterwards, for the Bobby Robson Foundation the year afterwards for Alan Shearer, and obviously yourself, you know, we played in the charity game for the Red Sky Foundation. And we just touched on it. I think overall we've just under £2,000 that we've raised for 4 great charities. I know we just put on it last week that we've got this one coming up this year where we're playing for Man Up Durham, If You Care Share Foundation, where another thing I don't know how I fit in it as well, but on every other Sunday we play goals, and just starting some workmates and a couple of mates from them that's playing, and it's just literally football, beer, chat. You come and play football, you have a beer or a soft drink and you chat. You don't want to ask if anyone's got any problems, but if you can, that's what we're here for. So if anyone is struggling, they can have a chat. And it was really good actually, because there was a team in the Sunderland Pub League, great name, Barely Athletic, and just a group of lads that went to Man v Fat to lose weight and play football. Another great team that came together through some good like that. So we actually give them a game at the end of the season and try and raise £150 for Man Up Durham, £150 for If You Care Share Foundation. I think it's them, the little things that keep pushing us, because we help them so much. And obviously we always said any money that we get in, we're going to try and help as much as we can. And the first payment that we got, straight away we put all the names in the hat, and Horden came out, we sponsored Jack Pounder. What a deal that's been, because every time he scores a goal we get a mention. I think he's got about 20 goals this season, so it's every other Saturday we get a mention, which is class. We've managed to sponsor a player at Wilton Reserves, and like I say, doing a couple of match sponsors, where we're hoping in the future to do more match sponsors, ball sponsors, and like you say, getting yourself up there as well. I know Blythe Town there keep asking to do a match sponsor. I'm trying to get some funds for a group of us to go up there, which obviously you'd be invited up. It'll be great to you see yourself and Luty as well, and it'll be something good like that. But I think it's putting the stuff back into the community, and obviously people know what we're doing in the Facebook group. I mean, you mentioned where we get the time from. See, I work 12:30 to 8:30 every night of the week during the week. So it's doing things before I go to work. Every lunchtime, every break time, I'm on my phone putting posts in the group. And on a Saturday now, my wife might as well just turn away, because I mean, if West End's at home now, we'll go through on a Saturday morning to Moncton. That's where Parker plays at the minute at the one venue. We get home about 12 o'clock, have some dinner, go down the hub. We start doing the video vlog. we're there from 2 o'clock till full time. We do a few interviews afterwards at 5:30. We come back. And then look at my WhatsApp group, all the youth team managers sent all their scores over. So I'm putting them onto a poster, putting all the pictures that they've sent over on our Facebook page, on our Twitter page. And next thing you look at your phone, it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock. I'm just thinking, gee, where's that day gone? But I think I just absolutely love it. I don't know how many years I'll keep going on, but like I said, as long as the love's there, I'll just keep doing as much as I can, really.
Absolutely brilliant, mate. Like I said, I don't know how you fit the time of the day in to do everything, and just what people's heard there, I think they'll say exactly the same. Quick fire round, mate.
Quick fire.
Quick fire. A couple of questions I'll put together. Who's your best manager?
So going from the college days, I think Sean Nicholson, Colin Myers, them two. I think, like I say, when I played for the pub league, because I started the football coaching, it was kind of at the time I didn't feel I had enough time because I was doing the football coaching on a Saturday. I couldn't really be asked or something, so I was kind of playing 3 or 4 games, scoring loads of goals the first 3 or 4 games of the season, and kind of going, right, I'm back in my coaching now. Where when you went to the college, because it was part of doing your course as well, you kind of got the love for football. That's where I think I played my best time in Sean, because you just put that confidence in us, like you say in the tune, and say, right, I'm going to put you in front of day. I know you can do the job. I wasn't a striker, but from that game on, that's what I was. Because, like you say, scoring the goals. And then it was good of Colin, because at the time I was obviously being one of the new students, I was in the B team. So a couple of times he would call up the A team, and like you say, there's some cracking players in there, which I think we'll get on to next. Calvin Smith, like you say, what a player he was. And it was just great, but I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was just my confidence, where I was always just comfortable enjoying playing football at a certain level or what. But like you say, Colin would say, get yourself off the Brandon, man, and get you playing. I'm not that bothered. Where I wish, looking back now, I wish I took more opportunities and actually had a go at it, because I think that's one of my biggest regret, that I didn't give the Northern League and just give them things a try, because I would have loved to have played a few more competitive higher games as well. But Sean and Colin Myers, 100%.
Yeah. We've just answered 3 questions in one there, because I was going to say, what's your biggest regret and what's your further ambitions to be, but obviously, and your teammates. So you covered Calvin Smith was obviously your best teammate. So your regret, I think you've just answered that question as well, which with Colin's just answered. So what's going to be your ambition going forward from now?
From now, it probably is, obviously, no, I think I'm stuck with this West End under-10s. I'll probably take them all the way through under-16s now, but I think it's the love of the game as well. I mean, kind of when I first went in to do one of the games, it was just because the lad who was doing it, I mean, Dave, he runs all the youth sides, but he kind of said, will you take over for a week? I said, yeah, no problem. And I think he won about 5 or 6-0. He said, I can't make it next week. Won again 5 or 6-0, and went 12 games unbeaten. I think it was in the end. I just thought, right, the love's back now, where you'll see some managers on the side, very quiet. And I'm just like, right, do this, do that, do that. And I don't know, obviously now we're doing the North East Non-League show and building a bit of a contact stuff. I don't know, getting back to love, possibly even managing in the future. I don't know, but like you say, I think it's something to look forward to. I'd love to just have that one game. So I don't know if we ever come to the end of the season, they might put us on the bench just to give us one game. So I would absolutely love it just to say I've done it. Because like I say, it was just the confidence thing, and it was crazy, because I just didn't have the confidence to say, right, I'm going to go out and play. But then at the time, I was having trials and stuff, so I was playing St James Park, Ewood Park, Blackburn, Oldham, and it was kind of strange because I didn't know the lads. It felt more comfortable. Like we went at Blackburn, I think it was, and it was kind of right through the main reception, got your name right in the home dugout, and I was thinking, right, go and meet these lads. And I just remember I was playing a front with a French lad, couldn't speak a word of English, and there was just some fantastic players, and I remember scoring. I was thinking, like, it's memories, and sometimes if they're on the telly, I'm like, Potter, I've played there, like Ellen Road, Ewood Park, and it's just memories that'll stick with us and stuff like that. But I think because we were playing players that you didn't know, people that were watching and stuff, it was just natural. You just do what you want. I don't know if it was because you were playing in front of people, there's pressure there, but I don't know. But yeah, I think it's more kind of in the managing side, and hopefully some of the kids that we've got, they're absolutely fantastic. I mean, we're part of the foundation. Our wingers at the foundation now. We've got a couple of other players who can definitely, like I say, the scouts watching all the time now. I mean, we only started as a new side last year. We won promotion because they do 2 kind of seasons in one. So we won promotion out of that one. We got moved to 4 divisions. We won promotion out of that one. So we're now gone from kind of, I think it's Division 13 up to Division 7. and we're sitting second at the moment. Played, I think it's 7 games. We've scored about 65 goals. It's yeah, so we're kind of going for the Keegan style. If they score 3, we'll score 3 more than you. So it's going really well, like, doesn't it?
Great. Last one for me, and I mean, I'll give you a couple of examples as well. It's your best footballing moment, but semi-final Carabao Cup, United, right? I remember standing next to you when you were nearly in tears. Right, that was a great footballing moment. But the one that stuck out for me was Paris Saint-Germain 4-1. Right, Jaeger bombs waiting for the train. Me and you, fantastic footballing moment. But that's us together. Your best footballing moment as a person?
It would have to be the college days. But it's kind of a good one that turned to a bad one, really. Like you say, the trials, which will always stick with us. I think it's just talking apart about them as well. Like playing at St James's Park, so there's not many people kind of say they've done that. But in college years, like you say, it was the best football I played. And I mean, I know we'll get into a couple of stories about some good, funny memories there, but I remember we were getting to the finals and stuff. And I think that's one thing that kind of did pay us off as players. I was quite lucky because I was put in it, but we managed to get to a final. We played Gateshead, and they had some cracking players at the college. I think they had Chris Basham, who was at Bolton, Chris Factory, who went to play in Italy, I think, as well. And like myself and these lads got us to the final. It was always about the B team, and it was on the morning of the game. They kind of put the squad up, and a lot of the players were left out, and a lot of the A players got brought into play, which I didn't think was right. Luckily, I kept my place, was obviously scoring the goals and stuff, and it got moved from Durham City pitch to Spennymoor, and it was just the harmony wasn't there because obviously the lads that were on the bench there were good because they weren't playing, and some of the A team lads weren't bothered. But I think it was the college days. I mean, as a striker at the time, there was no better feeling hitting the ball in the back of the net. It was nearly every game. It was 1 goal, 2 goal, or getting a hat trick. And I think it was just the fittest I've ever been. I was getting to college, coming back home, going straight to the gym, and it was just nothing I couldn't do. I just felt every time I was going to go on the pitch, I was going to score. And you know yourself, when you're full of confidence, it's always the best time you play any football, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Absolutely brilliant. Obviously, that's the questions, everything done and dusted, mate. Quick one for me before I hand back over you to your own show. Like I said, mate, what you do for this channel is absolutely remarkable. Keep it up. The Northern League should be proud of what you do, mate. And like I say, Parker's got a bright future ahead of him. And thank you so much for asking me to interview you. It's an absolute honour because I've never ever done this before. So I hope I've done you proud, mate, and your show well. And I'm going to hand it back over to you, mate, because this is your show.
Excellent. I don't know how long I've actually gone nearly an hour without mentioning Daz as well. He'll kill us. Little Daz. I don't know if you met him actually, but oh, what a character he was. I mean, we just met him at college on the field. And I just thought, who's this lad? Just crazy, absolutely crazy. I think that's where the college days that came from, the laughs. And I mean, we always mention, I know we did the interview with yourself in changing rooms and bus rides and stuff, and some of them ones, I think I missed them out, but like you say, some of the stories that we had, the changing rooms, it was mostly him that was involved. Like you say, the lights were going off, just literally a bag of balls, bang, getting kicked all over. 2 minutes later, the lights were on. You had lads lying there, like holding the knackers and the faces, the noses, like burst open, or someone was getting in the shower. You were putting the shampoo on the top all the time, or a little bit of hot water, and stuff like that. And some of the bus rides, I mean, beating Bishop Bortland and just taking the piss. And like you say, the Bishop Bortland lads trying to get on the bus and chased us out of the college. It was class. But I think I've got to mention as well with Daz, and he had a pair of I think it was Preds at the time, and there was another lad that had literally the same pair of trainers and the same football boots as him. So at the time we had these bags where, I don't know if you remember, like all your kit goes on the top, and then there's a zip at the bottom where you put your boots in.
I've got one now.
So Daz has gone in the shower, and this lad Sean, he's came out at the time. So because they had the same things, we've kind of put Daz's boots, and we left them out, but we put Daz's trainers in Sean's bag type of thing. So when Sean's came out, he's seen the trainers thinking they're his. So he's fucking put these trainers on. He's gone. So then Daz comes out and he's like, "Where's my trainers? Where's my trainers?" And I'm just thinking, "I don't know, mate, don't know." And I think he's thinking, I says, "Did you have a pair there?" He says, "Ah." He says, "Oh, Sean's just gone," but he's gone like half an hour ago. He's gone. And Daz is living at Spennymoor, so he was always getting the bus It was this from a gate next to the main pub, so it was always a kind of walk away. What am I going to do? I said, you're not going to put your football boots on, mate. So, like, obviously, he's caught the shower. He's got his pair of trainers on, a pair of footy socks. He's put his training kit back on, and these pair of Preds. And I think I'm sure he had the metal studs at the time. And like, whenever you sent me, you believe you. And obviously, we came out the college gate. The bus wasn't coming out, but it did in the end. It said, "Daz, there's a bus you need to run by." These metal studs, obviously, on the pavement. It was like a little horse running along. You can see even the bus driver, like, coming along, was just pissing himself, laughing at this lad chasing the bus with his boots, like a little horse galloping alongside him. But I think that's the best thing of football, Ian, isn't it? It's the changing room, it's the banter. I think that's why I did the North East Non-League show. So when you come on here and talk about the changing rooms, it still keeps my loving, because, like I say, the injury kind of ruined us, like.
Yeah, and obviously I wanted nothing to do with football after I retired from playing, and I took a few charity games, and a lad says, "Do you want to come back playing for over 40s?" And at the time I went, no. And then I got my arm persuaded. Then once you get back around that changing room environment,
yeah,
honestly, it just grabs a hold of you again, and it just makes you realise, because I was in a bit of a rut where I was just kind of, don't get me wrong, I'm 120% dedicated to Newcastle United, but that was it. You know, I was either going to the matches or watching at home, and it's different now where I'm actually dedicated to go and play football again at 44 year old, and it's took a long time. But like you say, it's that changing room environment where if you haven't been involved in it, you don't realise exactly what it is. And the first thing when you walk in, when I walked in the changing room that first game, there was someone stood with a pair of socks on, just his knackers out, and I'm thinking, this is football again, you know. And then there's people hiding Raljecks around and get your sock, like you were picking socks out your bag, and you know, and I've been in changing rooms where all my kit's being hung up. This is one where you're old school, when you're pulling stuff out the bag and fighting over a pair of socks that hasn't got a ladder in it. Do you know what I mean? But I get what you're saying, mate. It's totally, it grabs a hold of you, that changing room environment. It really, really does. And it's precious when it's there. You don't realise. You really don't.
Yeah, I think that's another regret as well. I mean, after the injury, that was kind of obviously ruptured me Achilles out for ages, and I didn't really get a chance to kind of play me last season where I wanted to go out on my own terms. And I think that was the most frustrating thing. The most, obviously, when it happened, and I was lying in hospital, I kind of text Laura, kind of said, right, I've been injured. So where you're at, I'm in hospital. She says, right, you're never playing again. And I think it's because it was kind of finished by an injury rather than, I would love to just do another season somewhere, just to get that one season finished, play on my own terms, get it done, and like you say, just enjoy that environment again. But I don't think that'll ever happen. But like you say, it's just that atmosphere and being around people that just makes you weekend sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm around a great set of lads on a Saturday morning now, over 40s, and I didn't realise that. I mean, I'm now playing against players that I played in the Northern League when I played.
Yeah.
Some absolutely fantastic players, and the standard's unbelievable, by the way. And I've got a shock of my life how fit you have to be. So honestly, it's absolutely brilliant. And if any advice, if people can still play as long as they can, play as long as they can, because sometimes it's too late.
Yeah. No, 100%. Like you say, totally. We get, like you say, hopefully get one more game in somewhere. I know we could play at the end of the season in the charity game as well, so I might make that my last one. But you never know. She might let us play again. But Ian, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on and doing what you've done tonight. Really appreciate it, mate.
No problem whatsoever. Honestly, mate. When he asked us to do it, I had no regrets at all to do it. Obviously, it was different for me because I've never been the one asking the questions. God, I can talk all day when people ask me questions because I'm used to it now, and that's what I do. But mate, I've loved every minute of it, and I hope you have. And I'm just hope that a lot of people get a better overview of what you are and what you actually do and what you commit, not just to this channel, but as a person and to everyday life, mate. It's remarkable.
No, thank you. And again, thank you everyone so much for watching as well. I know, again, being very busy, but fully booked up now until 2025. We've got some shows coming up now, and obviously I think in November we've got 4 looking back interviews and then some mid-season reviews before we end it, before the winter break as well. So keep an eye out. It's all on the channel now. It's all planned to go out, so keep an eye on the dates and the times as well. But again, thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your night as well.